can play their game.
Want to play poker with me, little lady?
Looks like you're having a pretty good time playing with yourself.
She can beat their odds.
The cowboys of old used guns to settle their differences. I'm a different kind of man. I'm a more civilized man. I prefer to use words to solve my differences. Diplomacy. Scissor sneak attack! Welcome to Bomb Squad Matinee.
Yay!
Yeah.
If you couldn't tell by the cowboy talk, we're talking about The Quick and the Dead, Sam Raimi's 1995 classic. According to some, not really well received at the time, but has received more praise from contemporary critics. What did we think about it? I don't know. I hadn't seen it before today. I just put it on the schedule because I was like, it's a Sam Raimi movie. We talk about one of these every year. So I figured someone had to get it on the schedule. I'm Tanner Richard Kraft, and with me I have...
Rein Conversey.
Hello, I'm Cody, and I almost watched the wrong version of this movie.
That's true. We had to clarify. Didn't know there was a different Sam Elliott movie also called this.
I'm Tim M. Sullivan, partner.
We're talking about The Quick and the Dead, yada, yada, yada. This is our first Western, I think.
Debatably.
I think so.
Which is kind of crazy. It's probably our first pure Western.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about, considering that it's such a classic film genre, and we've been doing this for so long. So to celebrate that, our warm-up question today is going to be, what's your favorite Western? We're going to start with the man I know is most prepared, Rein Conversey.
Yeah, the appearance would assume so. I wish I don't know, I medium enjoy Westerns. I don't have too deep a history with them. I haven't dwelled into the genre as much as I wish I would, considering just like how impactful it is to the medium of film as a whole. But I enjoy them when they're good. I think I'm more hot on spaghetti westerns, which is why I don't know, it's a pretty basic answer, but The Good and Bad, the Ugly would be my answer for my favorite western. It's a classic visual spectacle. I feel like it'd be a stretch to call it an odyssey, but I don't know.
That comes out next year.
Oh yeah, that's true. I will use that as my excuse for why I don't have much to say about it right now. It's a great movie. I guess my appreciation for it is kind of just encapsulation of what I like about spaghetti westerns in general. It's just like it feels like a nice evolution for the genre. I don't know. There's a 50% chance someone else is going to be talking about this movie right now, so I'm gonna I'll just end it there. Back to you, Tanner. Yeehaw.
Good answer. Cody, what's your favorite Western? You're a big appreciator of the classics, so I'm sure you have a good answer here.
Dude, I do not have a good answer here.
I was so confident.
No, it's because I watched a lot of westerns back in the day, because there was always a bunch of classic TV on.
There's always one playing on TV.
There's
on
always
some channel,
one
there
play.
is always one.
But I could not tell you the name of any of them. I've watched old school Lone Ranger, not the Disney movie, the 1910 show. I watched a bit of that. That's pretty good. But I didn't have an answer. That's why I'm gonna tell you. I like Blood Meridian. That's pretty good shit.
Oh yeah.
It's not a movie yet. It could be.
I was about to say, did you just pull out a book? Because baller, if so.
Nah, that's what I just want to tease the fact that they're still trying to make a Blood Meridian movie. I hope it works this time. It hasn't worked the last 5 times, but
I haven't read that book, but I hear that they would have to make the highest budget NC-17 movie ever made if they wanted to make it.
I'm down for it. NC-17 movies can sell. We've proven it now.
They'd probably be unrated if they were to do it. Because that's the thing. Now, after Terrifier and soon The Toxic Avenger, unrated is a viable path, because theaters will play unrated now.
Yeah,
that's open.
Yeah.
While there's literal laws preventing under 17-year-olds from watching NC-17 movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Cody, good answer. Tim, please. What's yours? I'm sure you have a banger on tap.
Yeah. So, I am a little bit on Rein's wavelength, where
can't stand you people.
I know I should watch more westerns. I have watched a lot of movies, to be clear. I just westerns are sort of a blind spot for me. I know my father-in-law-to-be is gonna fix that because westerns are his favorite thing. Because he's a man over 40, as my fiance said. But I have a kind of strange one for my pick. Sort of on the same wavelength as Blood Meridian. It's Alejandro Jodorowsky's El Topo. El Topo is a movie that when you watch it, you think two things. The first thing you think is, okay, it kind of makes sense that this guy wanted to make Dune. And then the second thing you think is, man, the world would be a way different, weirder place if this man made Dune. It's a very, very strange, surreal movie, as are all of Jodorowsky's works. Very visually striking, very dark and weirdly comic at times. It's just a very interesting movie, but in all, the final answer, Kill Bill Volume 2. Back to you, Tanner.
I was really hoping you guys would have good answers because I don't.
I was expecting you to start being like, you uncivilized swine. Don't appreciate the classics.
Well, I thought I did, and then I went to my letterbox list, all-time favorite movies, and I filtered by Western, and then it said there are 0 Westerns in this list, and I went, uh-oh.
Oh!
Yeah,
look at Mr. Hoity-toity Western Man now.
I thought surely there's one on here, and then there wasn't. So then I went to Letterboxd, just films, and filtered by movies I've watched, and then genre, and it says you've watched 40 Westerns. Considering I've watched thousands of movies.
Pretty low, yeah.
That was surprisingly low. And there are some movies here I like on this list, including one that should probably be on my all-time favorite movies list, and I'm confused as to why it's not. Blazing Saddles.
Mm-hmm.
However, I feel like picking Blazing Saddles is cheating.
Yeah, that's why I didn't go for it.
Hence, I then looked at my all-time favorite movies list, and even though it says there's no Westerns on here, I stared at it long enough until I figured out which one of these movies I could make an argument for being a Western. In 2017, a certain actor had a pretty big year. He had a movie that made a crap ton of money at the end of the year after a disastrous opening weekend, and at the beginning of the year, he played a role for what we thought was the final time in a pretty beautiful send-off. The actor I'm talking about is Hugh Jackman. And the movie I'm referring to is Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has a lot of Western influences, clearly, from the fact, I mean, the movie literally shows clips from Shane, which is a good Western in its own right. I think, you know, from the setting, it feels very much like a modern Western. So I went with Logan. And that's why my final answer is Hell or High Water, because there's a character named Tanner in it. Anyway, let's move on to our thoughts on this movie. This was new to me. It wasn't new to Tim or Rein. I don't know if it was new to Cody. Cody, was it new to you?
Again, I had to ask you which one we were watching. I almost watched the wrong
maybe
one.
you liked both. Maybe you liked both.
Yeah, I'll have to compare. We'll compare and contrast.
He has watched both. Well, you know what, Cody? I'm starting with you. What did you think of The Quick and the Dead?
Yeah.
The Quick and the Dead.
Yeah, what did you think of it?
Yeah, buddy!
What do you think of this movie?
Well, I mean, it's as simple as it gets. Fucking hell. I mean, it's it's Sam Raimi doing a Western. That's like, it's gonna be good. Like, that's all I mean, that's as simple as it gets there. I like yeah, I like all the characters. I mean, there's a nice roundabout cast of characters. I like the premise of it being kind of isolated in like one area with this like whole tournament shtick. I like that a lot. But yeah, I like a lot of the characters. I'm so sad that my favorite character just gets fucking bodied. You know, the ace guy, dude. He was so cool looking.
yeah.
And I was like, dude, he's so badass. He's so badass. Oh,
He's like the first one to die too.
He's like the first one to go.
He is a world-class jobber, let me tell you.
They strip him like a Barbie doll. That shit was brutal. But yeah, I also like all the mains. You know, like all the ones here. Spoiler alert: these are the final four. I know they spoiled that on the box art, but you just gotta work with what you got here. But and I mean the story itself is pretty like rudimentary. It's not gonna be like blowing your mind or anything, but it's a simple like kind of revenge plot that follows like multiple characters' perspectives, which is serviceable. It's one of those movies you put on and you just have a good time. That's really like as simple as it is. I can't pretend like it's got like a whole lot of substance besides the fact that it's a Sam Raimi film and all the editing and all the shots and all the dynamics are really fucking good. It's like the Raimi style. Evil Dead 2 is like one of my favorite movies of all time, so I love me some Raimi flair. And this this definitely has that same Raimi feel. It doesn't feel like you just stumbled upon a random movie set and just said he's making a movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also really like the set design. The set design looks really good, really nice and classic. I almost forget it's like a 90s movie. Like it genuinely does feel like a nice like a classic movie, especially when I watched it on DVD. This is an unrelated note though, but man, like modern TVs are really good at upscaling shit. Like this, I forget I was watching a DVD. That shit looked like genuinely like really good for a DVD. But that's kind of my thoughts. I wish I had more to say, but like it's not a movie with like a whole lot of substance. It's a movie that's like it's fun, it's quick, it's precise, and it's good. Simple as that. Back to you.
All right. All good stuff, Cody. Rein, you ready to be a stinky party pooper?
You know what I bet? I bet a lot of what I'm going to say, y'all are either in your heads or out loud or be like, yeah, I can't disagree with that.
I will.
It's just, but all right. So I know it's in like media criticism, it's like corny to use food analogies, but I just can't like this movie. It just feels like it's all frosting, I guess. Or like I like the style, I like the bombast, I like how it is basically just like a fighting. Like it feels like the movie adaptation of like some like Western themed fighting game from like the 90s. I like
your character.
Like one of my favorite tropes is like the shonen anime tournament arc. I should love this stuff. Sam Raimi, one of my favorite directors. When I was getting into movies, still one of my favorite directors. And I should love this. I have a lot of fun with but I can't. I only gave it 2.5 stars in Letterboxd. Because even though I had a good time with it, I could not give less of a shit. Not at all. Not like I just could not give less of a shit about what was going on. Like at any point, I just couldn't care. I was incapable of giving a shit. I enjoyed watching. I had fun with the action scenes, and then I don't know. I think because I don't know. There's movies where like the style can carry it for me, where that is the substance, and I think the reason that wasn't quite enough for me, the style wasn't, is it's not. I realized they do a good job trying to like make each round kind of unique. I guess like the best example for me being where the Native American guy whose whole thing is like, yeah, nothing's going to kill me. And then the priest shoots him, kills him, should kill him in one shot, but then he gets back up, and then like that whole like that was probably I think maybe one of my favorite like action scenes in this. They do, and then obviously all those dolly zooms. How can you not love them? But I just don't think, and partially because like comparing it to like like any like martial arts movie, Enter the Dragon, or like Mortal Kombat, fighting tournament movies, it's very it's a lot tougher to like make I guess like Western style shootouts exciting and interesting compared to like a a hand-to-hand fight scene or like melee combat. Like it felt like for a lot of them it's just like we gotta throw in as many fucking dolly zooms on this as possible to make it exciting, because otherwise I don't know, I feel like he did a good job like keeping it exciting, but I feel like I just noticed like that like kind of creative limit to this with these scenes where it's like that you wouldn't have if this wasn't like a a gun combat sort of thing. Maybe kind of a shallow thing to talk about, but since this is that's what you if you love this movie, you're gonna love it for all that, for just for like the silliness, how every character just does feel like some like fighting game character, like in a good way. Had a lot of fun with it, but I just don't care about it, or I don't care about anything you would want to care about in a story. But it is fun. Back to you, Tanner.
Boo!
I'm sorry.
Stinky piss baby.
I was with you until you started talking about the combat. That combat was awesome.
It's not
like a fist fight, but like like the joy of the combat is that it's
this is Rein's an evil liberal that wants gun control. That's why you cannot trust his opinion on the gunfights, because of his evil politics. I heard he voted for Cory Booker in the 2020 Democratic primary. That's a joke that only makes sense to me and him. Tim, save me. I know you like this.
Yeah, this is a fun time. I will say, like, a couple of years back, maybe like I think 2022, I was trying to go through and watch some of the Sam Raimi movies that I hadn't seen, because there were a handful that were blind spots for me. There's still two that I haven't seen. I still haven't seen A Simple Plan or The Gift, which I really want to watch both of those. But this was one that I remember. What about
For Love of the Game?
I have seen For Love of the Game, actually.
Let's go.
That's another podcast. But
putting it on the schedule right now.
This movie is it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it at the time, and I enjoyed it again watching it today. Something Cody brought up was that like this is a movie that kind of bleeds with Sam Raimi's style, and 100% agree. Like if you've seen a Sam Raimi movie, you put this on, Sam Raimi made this. And I actually read something about how like apparently they gave Sharon Stone like a list of directors, like a big list of directors for who could direct this, and then she just gave them a list with one name, and it was Sam Raimi.
Hell yeah.
She loves Army of Darkness.
She loved Army of Darkness, really? And I guess also Raimi's other works, which at that point was basically just the Evil Dead movies, Darkman, and Crime Wave. I imagine she didn't like Crime Wave. Nobody likes Crime Wave.
Sharon Stone is Crime Wave's #1 supporter.
She's the biggest Crime Wave stan.
She still only gives it a 3.5 on Letterboxd, but that's the highest anyone's given it.
That's true. This movie's a lot of fun. Probably the youngest I've seen Leo in a movie, because I never watched the Critters movies. But yeah, just little baby Leo DiCaprio playing the cocky little guy. And like I did appreciate how they like kind of made his death scene, like they gave some weight to it, which I appreciated. And for whatever reason, I was watching this and I just kept thinking for some reason that this was one of Raimi's PG-13 movies, and I just kept thinking this is pretty violent for a PG-13. And then Gene Hackman blew a hole through Keith David's head, and I was like, I'm pretty sure this isn't PG-13. You
could get away with a lot in the 90s, man.
You can get away with a lot, but I don't think you can get away with that. Just a lot of fun. Fun fights, fun concept. Rein kind of brought up the shonen tournament battle shtick, which I'm a sucker for that. I'm a sucker for like death game type stories. So this is definitely just something that's up my alley. This might be one of my favorite westerns, but obviously that answer wasn't allowed for the first question. But it's up there for me for sure. Granted, again, I haven't seen that many, but it's a movie I like a lot. Probably on the upper echelon of the Raimi movies I've seen. Just a good time. Back to you, Tate.
All right, my time to shine a low. Tobin Bell is in this movie, 5 stars. All right, so we're gonna move on to general discussion after a brief. No, I'm kidding. Though Tobin Bell being in this movie was fucking awesome, especially because he's like one of the first names to pop up. You see Tobin Bell and you go, John fucking Kramer, Jigga fucking Saul, Jiggity Saul in the house. Let's go. Love it when Jiggity Saul shows up. Feel like I should say Jiggity. Anyway, feels like I'm not supposed to say that. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I feel like I'm saying a bad word right now. Anyway, yeah, this movie's fucking awesome. I had never seen it before, but I figured Sam Raimi directed Western had to be awesome. And Rein, I'll give you this. The plot is maybe a tiny bit generic. However, for me, plot, story stuff is almost secondary to me. And I understand the characters are maybe in the script underwritten somewhat. To me, it felt like the actors brought so much life and personality into them. Like the second Russell Crowe walks on screen, I kind of get the whole deal. Gene Hackman is such a commanding presence. Sharon Stone is the most beautiful woman to ever live. Russell Crowe is also the most beautiful woman to ever live. So, like, you're just kind of having a great... 90s Russell Crowe is so goddamn hot. Jesus Christ. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, Leo's in this. Leo's awesome as the, like, little cocky bastard. Really, where the script falls short, the actors put so much oomph, personality, and awesomeness into it that I go, actually, this shit fucking rocks. My socks off. The performances are great. I really like the score. This is surprisingly Sam Raimi's only time working with Alan Silvestri, which is crazy because Alan Silvestri is such a legendary composer. You figured him and Raimi would have crossed paths at some point, which they did, but more than once. Silvestri apparently called Raimi, quote, a doll. So make of that what you will.
That's definitely not a Bruce Campbell quote.
Yeah. But really, what makes this movie awesome is the Sam Raimi-isms of it all. I've seen a lot of like those like take out your gun at the clock fights in movies. Mm-hmm. And usually what makes those interesting is the interaction between the characters and like the lead up to that point. So a movie like this being like almost entirely duels, Raimi had to do some like badass shit to make it awesome. And he did do some badass shit to make it awesome. The fucking dolly zooms on this are crazy. The way it like twists the camera as it's pushing in really fast, but zooming out really dude, it's so kinetic. Mm-hmm. And obviously Raimi's known for that kinetic style of camera. I ain't never seen him go do it like this before. Like, this is some next level craziness. It's the Evil Dead movies kind of do this, but like the way it was cut, I don't know. It's like the most kinetic one of his films have ever felt to me. I'm not saying the other movies like weren't kinetic. I'm saying that this one was at a fucking level that was crazy to me. You know what I mean? Just the way the camera was moved. They'd fucking kill you. They'd fucking kill you if you tried to make this now. They'd fucking take you out back and old yell at your ass if you try to make a movie this fucking awesome now. Because that's the only explanation as to why movies like aren't this cool anymore. Like that and Tobin Bell aren't in them.
Raimi tried to make a Raimi movie for Marvel, and people were just like... They
killed him.
People were just like, you can't do crossfades in movies anymore. That's illegal.
Yeah,
imagine if they had this dolly zoom shit in that movie. People would be killing themselves in the theater.
Yeah, sadly, being goofy is illegal
Yeah.
in
You
cinemas.
think I'm kidding? They'd kill you for trying to make a movie like this now. They'd kill you. They'd
mean, yeah.
fucking kill you, Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan. Mark your days.
I know where you live, Jonathan.
This got too
Florida.
personal. Jonathan and
after you.
Florida.
They're after you. But yeah, they'd fucking kill you for making a movie like this now. They'd kill you for making shit like this now. It's so fun. It's kinetic.
Yeah.
It's honestly one of my favorite Raimi movies. And fellas, I know I'm hot off of it because I just watched it. I'm thinking this might be a top 3 Raimi for me. I'm dead serious. I fucking loved this shit. Because seriously,
Damn.
all the actors are doing amazing things. Keith David is amazing. Gene Hackman is amazing. And all the kinetic energy Raimi brought to it. It was just an explosive picture. At one point, I deadass stood up from my chair and hit the pose. I hit the dad pose mid-movie. That's how you know shit was serious. I ain't even a father. And I was hitting the fucking dad pose mid-movie. I was fucking watching that shit like it was my fucking mom's soap opera, and I got really into it for a few episodes. You know that when you're in the living room and your mom's watching a show and you're like, damn, this is some good shit. I was hitting that with this movie. This movie's fucking amazing. We're gonna talk about it some more after a brief commercial break. See you soon.
Surprise, bitch. I bet you thought you'd seen the last of me.
Welcome back from that ad break for another ad. See that shit? That's a movie palette. That's the one for Punch Drunk Love. Above Tim is the one for the movie Mandy. Basically takes the primary frame of every, the primary color of every frame in the movie, slices them these little slices, puts it on a palette for you to enjoy. You can get one for The Quick and the Dead. You can get one for another Sam Raimi movie. You can get one for any of your favorite movies, and if they don't already have it, for a little bit extra, you can get one custom made. So go ahead, add as many palettes to your cart as you want. Before you check out, go ahead and enter the code SQUAD15 to save 15% on your order. All right, thank you so much for listening to that ad. Back to the show. Fellas,
Oh, yeah.
I have a revelation. So, for the most part, this movie was written by a guy named Simon Moore. It was a spec script he was trying to get made for a while. He actually wanted to try and direct it himself, but that didn't work out. But it was this really cool script that he really believed in and he wanted people to make. And eventually Sam Raimi picked it up. And then Simon Moore, this is a fun fact. So the studio hired someone else to like punch up the script. They fired him, hired someone else to punch up the script, and then it wasn't working. Raimi says it wasn't working. So Sony, with like a week or two before shooting starts, hires back Simon Moore to rewrite the script. And all Simon Moore does is get rid of the shit that the new guy added, gave that to Sony, and they said, yep, this is great. But that's not what I'm bringing up. During filming, Sam Raimi thought that the ending wasn't working, which is crazy considering how awesome the ending is with the surprise explosion and fake Sharon Stone revealing that she's alive, and just how awesome that moment's played out and how she finally gets her revenge, you know. But that ending was not in the original script. Sam Raimi went to the studio and said, hey, this is not working. The ending just isn't working out. And, you know, we need someone to, this needs to be fixed, and I can't fix this. I need you to help me fix this. So, the studio suggested this young writer. All he had really done was write at this point, all this guy's really known for is writing some episodes of Roseanne, writing some episodes of Parenthood, and writing this like random, this like 1992 movie that had Donald Sutherland, and he didn't even direct it, he just wrote it. But he comes in, he fixes the ending in an afternoon. And Sam Raimi loves it. He's like, this is just the ending we wanted, and this is the ending we get in the screen. I forgot to mention that 1992 feature that this guy wrote. That feature film was called Buffy the Vampire Slayer because the guy that wrote the ending to this movie is Joss goddamn Whedon. He strikes again. We can't get rid of him.
Wait, I have a better idea.
I have a better idea. There's been a running joke since the start of the pod, Cody. You weren't there for that. But like by episode 5, we had like the Justice League episodes where the Joss Whedon jokes really started, I think. And
Makes
just
sense.
That was like episode 8.
Time and time again. Yeah, time and time again, we would talk about movies and discover, oh, Joss fucking Whedon worked on this. Joss Whedon worked on this. Yeah. Oh my God, Joss Whedon worked on this.
Yeah.
But yeah, at this point, all he was known for. Rein, did you know as soon as I brought up Roseanne?
Yeah, because I know that's like one of the first things he was a writer on Roseanne. That was one of his like first big gigs.
That was his first writing gig, was writing episodes of Roseanne. Do you guys know that Sharon Stone like basically just like swung her dick around the entire production of this movie? The studio was like, here's a bunch of directors we want, and Sharon Stone says, I want Sam Raimi. The studio goes, all right, here's a bunch of actors, and Sharon Stone goes, yeah, I know, I'm just building on that. Sharon Stone goes, I think you should cast Russell Crowe. And Sam Raimi's in support of that, but the studio's like, but America doesn't know who Russell Crowe is. And Sharon Stone's like, I'll walk. Sharon Stone thinks the kid should be played by this guy he saw in a movie called What's Eating Gilbert Grape. And the studio's like, Leo DiCaprio's a little too expensive. We don't know we can do it. Sharon Stone pays his salary personally.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Beast mode.
What an interesting lady.
Love to see it.
Nobody believed in this movie more than Sharon Stone, which is such a shame considering at the time it got really mixed reviews, and this shit bombed.
Oh yeah, I was checking it. It did not do well.
It cost $35 million and it only made $47 million. And you may think, oh, it made more than its budget. That budget never includes marketing.
Yeah.
Now, all these years later, I bet you this movie's turned a profit, especially because it's kind of become a bit of a cult classic nowadays, with a lot of people realizing they love Sam Raimi as a director and going back and watching his whole filmography, including this one. And they go, oh, this is awesome. And this movie is awesome. It's been reassessed since then and has been largely loved. I mean, honestly, Raimi fucking went off with this, which is crazy because I feel like this was his first time. In large part because Sharon Stone believed in him. This was like his biggest project to date, I'm pretty sure. In large part because Sharon Stone believed in him.
And this was like right before he made like Simple Plan, the baseball movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is before Simple Plan. This is before the baseball movie. His last movie before this was Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
And then the next movies he would make are A Simple Plan and For Love of the Game, which is a baseball movie, and The Gift. I feel like The Gift is the one people forget about the most, including myself. I still haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And then the Spider-Man movies, then Drag Me to Hell, and then Oz the Great and Powerful, and then they didn't let him make movies for 10 years. Then he made Doctor Strange. Now it looks like they're back to not letting him make movies. Except, no, they're not. We have something. He has a horror movie coming out next year.
That's right. Send Help, I think.
No,
it's called Send Help. It's on the schedule.
Yeah, it is interesting because I before I ever saw this movie to begin with, I had heard how it was kind of the movie that made Sam Raimi like I need to just try and like show people I can do a simple, straightforward movie without any like crazy visual.
I don't need gore,
and all that.
Yeah.
I don't need to do a dolly zoom. As much as I want to do a dolly zoom right now, is like no, I will just keep it restrained.
Gotta fight the urge to do a dolly zoom.
Yeah.
This is also the movie that sort of created Sony's and Sam Raimi's working relationship. This was a TriStar Pictures. This was a Sony movie. Mm-hmm. Sony had never worked with Sam Raimi before this, and then, Sony gave Sam Raimi Spider-Man. They trusted Sam Raimi. So even though this movie didn't make the money, Sony was like, we trust you. I mean, who did A Simple Plan for Love of the... Are any of these Sony movies? I'm about to find out. I'm doing research, everybody. Don't worry.
Cool.
In the meantime, I gotta bring up how Bruce Campbell did shoot a scene for this movie that got cut. But he is in the credits.
Scene. I was reading that.
He is in the credits as Wedding Shemp. Because he was in a wedding scene.
So he's only there in name only. How sad.
Yeah. He was there in spirit.
Talk.
Yeah.
Can we? I'm sorry. You said the wedding shimp, and that reminds me of the funniest fucking thing. The thing that made me laugh the hardest when watching this movie is when they're showing all the names on the board, and one of the first names that gets crossed out is Simp. I was like, that aged interestingly.
Yeah.
Didn't make it.
The simp got.
Yeah, a lot of great names in this, by the way. Crazy cast, by the way. Can we talk about this? This cast is insane.
Yeah, we got Sharon Stone, Gene Hackman, Tobin Bell, Leo. I mean, Leo was still relatively small at the time, but he would go on.
I mean, he had an
very big.
Oscar. He had an Oscar nomination at this point. This movie came out 2 years after What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and a year before Romeo plus Juliet. I mean, he was relatively small, but he was definitely on the up and up by this point.
Yeah. Russell
More importantly,
Crowe.
though, Tobin Bell,
Yeah.
Lance Henriksen, Gary
yeah.
Sinise is in like flashback scenes exclusively, which is crazy because Gary Sinise, I mean, this is after Forrest Gump.
Yeah, that's true.
Crazy. Gary Sinise like doesn't do movies ever. That's the thing that's crazy about it. He's like a very selective actor.
I was hoping you were going to say that, not that like no one wants to hire him.
Well, allegedly he's a Republican, but I don't think he's like insane.
Well,
He's
well, you know.
I don't know. He doesn't talk about his politics publicly. So
Isn't that kind of Sam Raimi's deal too?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that. Shut up. You never said that. I never heard that. I don't know nothing about that.
Fair enough. Right there with you,
Sam
Tiger.
Raimi is Pookie Bear.
Sorry, I've been listening. I'm not looking at my phone. I'm just I'm
He's
so-
100% looking at his phone.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, Tanner. I've been reading the article on this banger website called ireviewwesterns.com.
Oh,
That's where
thank
I'm getting
you.
most of my information.
His entire opinion, too.
Yeah, the article starts with,
That's
"This
where he
movie's
gets
fucking
news,
awesome,"
actually.
and I'm like, "Yep, this movie's awesome."
This movie's awesome. Let's all bully Rein. Rein, you
Yeah.
stinky. You're stinky.
Nightmare,
Ooh.
nightmare,
Rain, you're
nightmare.
stinky. Nightmare, nightmare,
Ooh.
nightmare. I hope you have a bad trip.
Damn.
I hope
Guys,
you wake
come
up
on.
in
We
a
have to
Western.
say more things about this amazing movie.
Anyway, how long has it been? Do we already run out? Okay.
We're only at 40 minutes.
Oh shit, we gotta meet quota. Fuck.
Tim's like, no, it's okay. It's okay.
I mean, the
really
only thing
is
I
fun.
have left to say are only two things. Yeah, I really like all the performances. Actually, three things. Yeah, the casting of Leo and Russell. It reminds me of that quote from Little Little Women, where it was like, we casted Timothée Chalamet for the girls, but casted the older guy. That was for the women. And I guess that's like with the Leo and the Russell Crowe here. I thought that would be a funny bit, but then when I said it out loud, I was like, that's not funny at all.
This
I
was
get it.
Russell Crowe's first American feeture.
That is crazy to me.
That's interesting.
Especially because, he later went on to be in the Craven movie.
True.
I was
changing-
expecting. I thought you were about to say Gladiator. I was like,
changing
oh
my
hey, just a
answer.
couple years later.
I'm changing my answer. My favorite Western is Craven the Hunter.
I want you all to. That's not even what the movie's. Oh, it is called that. I thought it was just called Craven.
You're crazy. Anyway. Oh yeah, but another thing is, yeah, with the action scenes, I thought I guess I just was like hoping he could have used other techniques besides dolly zooms to
Why
make the
use
exciting
something else
action.
when it's cool?
Yeah.
If it ain't broke.
Also, I am also not a big plot person when it comes to like movies I love. But yeah, I guess it just wasn't enough for me emotionally. Like I didn't feel anything besides like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's okay for a movie to just be that. And
yeah. Oh yeah. No, I didn't. I gave it a 5 out of 10, but it's a very nice 5 out of 10, I guess. Like a very
5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 complimentary.
Yeah.
5 out of 5 complimentary. What's 5 out of 5 derogatory?
5 out of 5 derogatory.
I mean,
my 5 out of 5 derogatory is Mac and Me, for the record. That's an insult to it.
That's pretty accurate.
That seems seems more like a 1 out of 10 complimentary.
No, the movie's perfect.
Fair enough.
Fellas, you know what it's time for?
trivia?
It's time to use our favorite website. The inflation calculator.
Tanner, stop pulling up inflation websites on the chat.
What are you talking about? Oh my god, what are they doing to Sonic the Hedgehog? Throwback to when we kept talking about porn on the Sonic commentary tracks. Unfortunately, the inflation calculator of 1880.
Damn.
Then go.
So I'm finding
another one.
Yeah, because that reminds me. That reminds me of the because the grand prize
$123,000.
That is insane for like I get they had to we have to make it a bigger number so the audience is like oh whoa that's big, but that is like an insane amount of money for the 1880s.
That's probably more than the town has.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I could do a lot with $123,000 right now.
In today's
money.
Exactly. But that's 1880s money.
I found a website that'll do all the back up to 1880, and before I can hit the calculator, I just got a pop up that said "Get inflation updates." No, thank you.
I'm good personally.
Personally, I'm fine. So $123,000 in 1880 is $3.8 million.
Ooh.
Okay, that's not. I thought it was going to be a bigger
That's
number.
That's not
actually.
as crazy as I thought it'd be.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like tens of millions at least.
That's Duelist Kingdom money.
Okay, actually, if you put it this way, that's a cumulative price increase of over 3,000%.
Jeez.
That's a lot.
That actually is a pretty crazy. Wow, what the fuck happened to the dollar in 1979? What the hell?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Nothing happened. Nothing of note happened that year. That was a very quiet year. I remember it was like the quietest year.
No, fucking look at this inflation.
I don't know. I wasn't around for it. Probably wasn't interesting.
Look at this fucking inflation graph. Hold on, I'm getting a screenshot. Tim's about to be like, Tanner, no.
Tim tilting like, God damn it, dude.
You are not allowed to put the stream on the chat.
I'm not doing that. I'm putting it in the podcast chat.
Okay.
Look at that fucking graph. What happened to inflation in 1979?
Please don't be Sonic. Please don't be Sonic.
It's not porn! Jesus, you people!
It's like, it's going to be Sonic with a cowboy hat.
You see that graph? See that graph?
No, that's
see
Knuckles.
Is it the fucking echidnas that have like 2 penises?
4.
That wasn't what I was talking about, but yes.
I don't know why I quick dropped that so fast.
Yeehaw!
Cody, you had that on lock. Cody had that on lock.
Silly Tanner. It's
Cody was ready for that.
Yeah, we have footage of you being so quick to respond too.
Yeah, 79.
What were we talking about?
Steep bell curve.
We're talking about Quick and the Dead from 1987.
Oh yeah, we're talking about a movie.
Yeah, we're talking about the 87 movie Quick and the Dead.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on 1987's The Quick and the Dead? Cody specifically.
Cody, hit us.
I love the cover. He's got a great mustache. That's makes it like as good as the movie we're talking about.
Would you guys like some alternate castings?
Let's go.
Yes.
Yes.
Please.
So, Leonardo DiCaprio eventually became the Kid. Did you know that another actor was offered the part but turned it down?
Who's that?
Matt Damon.
Oh.
Which is crazy because this is pre-Goodwill Hunting. You'd think he's desperate.
Interesting. I think that would have been nice.
I don't like the sound of them
guys-
apples.
Did you guys know that obviously the studio was against Russell Crowe, and Sam Raimi and Sharon Stone had to convince them? Do you guys know who the studio's first choice was for the lead actor, Court?
Can't be good.
I'm nervous.
Liam Neeson.
Leslie Nielsen.
God,
Leslie Nielsen would have been fascinating. No, cast Leslie
Just imagine,
Nielsen. Cast Leslie Nielsen in the Gene Hackman role.
That would have been great.
Just him making penis jokes. David Arquette was also offered the part of the kid.
Liam Neeson does make sense because Dark Man, but
Yeah.
Yeah, the studio was like, well, you've worked with him before, but Stone and Raimi really want. Yeah, they're just. This is kind of like too awesome a movie to talk about. We've made a horrible mistake.
Hey, that's it is
our
what it is.
issue.
It's happened before with other great films like
Marcel the Shell with shoes
yet
on.
another.
The 20-minute
Trailers.
podcast.
There's just a lot of us going, yeah, the movie's good.
That scene where Gene Hackman slapped Sharon Stone was improvised.
Yeah.
Stone's reaction is real.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Sharon Stone bought the horse.
Hell yeah.
We bought a horse. The prequel to the old West.
Moving on
prequel.
to final thoughts. Tim, we'll start with you. What are your final thoughts on The Quick and the Dead?
It's a Raimi movie, so I guess I gotta hit you with the movie groovy.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Good time. Probably one of my higher rated Raimi movies. Like it a lot. But like we've kind of established, it's not an especially deep movie, but it's a very entertaining movie. So if you got an hour 45 and you just want to watch some cowboys and cowgirls shooting each other, this is a pretty good time. Back to you, Tanner.
Good stuff. Rein, who gives a shit? Cody, what are your final thoughts on the movie?
I don't think that's fair to Rein. I want to hear his final thoughts, even if I don't like him.
I think I hate saying this, but I think this is Lester Raimi. But even even when it's Lester Raimi, you're still gonna have a great time. It's still gonna be fun.
Shut the fuck up! I want you to. Cody, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is I just learned that the Sam Raimi car is in the movie. It's just like kind of obscured in the in that little wagon.
Let's
You
go.
put the car in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they just took like the big like frame off and just put make it a wagon. So it's technically in the movie, even though it doesn't make sense.
Send a photo to that for Tim.
I will find that photo. I mean, it's just the wagon in the movie. But, besides that, good movie. Good movie. Don't really have much to say. Good old Raimi Western. I mean, how could you go wrong?
Time for my final thoughts. Hello, Russell Crowe. My phone number is 90s Crow specifically. Modern Crow, you can stay home. 90s Crow, call me. Figure out the whole space-time continuum thing? Call me. Sharon Stone, call me. Leo, don't know how old you are in this, so do not call me. Cannot verify. Cannot verify.
And you're too old for him now.
Yeah. Fuck, I'm 27.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, this movie fucking rocks. Dolly zooms for days, baby. Tobin Bell's in this and has like multiple awesome scenes. Did I mention Tobin Bell's in this? He plays Jiggothy Saw. I still feel like I shouldn't say that.
Stop saying that.
I feel like it feels like an offensive term, even though I know it's not.
That's good.
It does sound, yeah, it's one of those words that you know isn't a slur, or you're at least pretty sure it isn't a slur, but it definitely sounds like a slur.
Yeah, well, I shouldn't say it.
It's a slur against autism.
You know who else shouldn't say it? You! The person watching / listening to this episode of Bomb Squad Matinee. If you are listening on any of the audio platforms we're on, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. How about you mosey on down below and leave us a review? It helps boost us in the algorithm or something. while you're listening, how about you mosey on down over to our Patreon, where the $5 tier gets you access to commentary tracks, the next of which will be me strangling Rein Conversey in real time. And then the $10 tier gets you access to a shout out. So my mom, Tanya Craft, thank you so much for supporting us all here at Bomb Squad Productions. And if you do want to give us money, but maybe get a little more in return than digital goods, you can go to bombsquadproductions.shop. That's right, they got merch now. We have a bunch of t-shirts, some posters, some stickers, a couple magnets, a lot of cool stuff that you can purchase. So get your order in now, because I haven't been hit with tariff pricing yet, but at some point in the future, I might have to raise prices. I don't know. So get your order in now. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you oh so very much for watching. How about you mosey on down over to the comment section below and let me know, what's your favorite Western? What did you think of The Quick and the Dead? Was it awesome? Is 90s Russell Crowe the hottest man alive? And finally, can you tell me, is Jiggathy Saw a slur? Comment below and let me know. While you're down there, hit the like button so we know how much you like us. Hit the subscribe button so we know how much you love us. And hit the bell icon to know exactly when we upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you tune in next week when we have an episode that's hosted by Cody Suiso. Cody, do you know what we're doing, or do I need to say it?
We're gonna do Monty Python and the Holy Grail!
Yay!
I'm so excited.
We're gonna reveal our real opinions on political things on this. No, I'm kidding. Yeah! You should tune in. It's gonna be a great time. We'll see you then. Bye!
Quick draw! I decide who lives or who dies!
I'm a different kind of man. I'm a more civilized man. I prefer to use words to solve my differences. Diplomacy. Scissor sneak attack! Oh shit, I think I actually broke it. That looks cracked. Hold on. Oh.
Shit, I think you should have just stuck with watching Timberwolves game.
Oh my god, I actually broke it. I actually broke the webcam. Hold on. I need to take a photo of this.
Never a dull moment.
I was joking when I said I thought I broke it. I just thought it was weird. Like, I'm sending it in the chat. You guys have to see this right now.
Yeah,
You gotta add this to the episode.
This a part of this is gonna be the ending bit.
Oh wait. All right, I'll show the audience too in real time.
Oh god, there's two of me.
Oh my god.
Look at that. I actually broke it.
God damn.
I didn't even think I hit it that hard. Okay.